Did you know Bond students have been in every Olympics since '92? How do they do it?
Bond is known for its prowess in the sporting domain.
With incredible facilities throughout campus, it means you can easily transition from this to this. Sport is alive and well at Bond University.
Now all four games are obviously too, but do you need something at 3/4 time the next game, or?
No, I'm not playing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, London's great for the download the app.
Yeah. Well.
Is it just the AFL?
It's rarely move the speed so I can get through. Not in front of the windows. That would be your set up here. Yes, please. Can you see my bag as a
can you see my car? White car at the end of the in the console, it's got in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in my car.
Yeah. This is easy enough. They can be little tracks on the end of the nibs, so just pull that up. soccer go last week?
My game.
Yes.
Yeah, it went well.
Good.
Really well.
To hear it. Which what I might do to start with is I'll use this for this. And in that way, there are some player number changes overall in the siege. The good news is, well, for me anyway, they've actually gone back to their regular numbers, and there's a story behind that. So Carly Welsh is no longer 34, she's 17. Daisy Carter's no longer 38, she's 15. And Jacinta Enns is no longer 48, she's 21. What's that?
Just let me know when you're ready to come in.
Oh, pro.
Mate, I'm on the buzz, right? This is my new job now that I'm done.
I'm ready to go whenever. I think what I might do is just ask you generally about your first impressions of what's here, rather than just your first impressions of program and what's here, rather than just throwing you into analysis of two teams and your teams and okay. Ready when you are.
Cool. Alright, I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
It's gloomy overhead, but to compensate, we have put rainbows everywhere. Welcome to the South Pine Sporting Complex in Brendale, and this is Jarrah Corporate Pride Round, round 12 of the Bond University QAFLW. Plenty of footballing matters at stake. Wilston Grange versus Yeronga South Brisbane is the opening match, but it's also a day of celebration for our either our colleagues or our allies, depending on where you stand, in the what I like to call the Lugbatikwa Plus community. My name is Daniel Viles. With me is Sky Burgess, who deals with acronyms much better than I do. Sky, first year in Queensland, your impressions of Pride Round?
It is absolutely phenomenal. The level of professionalism, I've never seen anything rocking up to a footy game like this, so it's great. Like you said, they've got the rainbow balloons, all the Guernseys look great, so yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Wilston Grange, we'll hear more from Sky throughout the broadcast. Wilston Grange wearing a darker strip than they usually wear. It's navy blue, and Yeronga in their black strip. Yeronga, the first team to wear a dedicated Pride jersey. But the fifth Jarrah Corporate Pride Round is underway at South Pine Sporting Complex. Callista Jane Shiner in the pink headgear got first hands to the ball from the opening ruck. Crashing through was Satchasiv from Yeronga. Chelsea Wynn gets the first of about 300 disposals she'll get today. Pops it out wide and taken by Welsh. Hit the ground. Lizzie Hill was able to get the rebound, and she will also get the free kick. Been in good form in recent weeks, Hill. Told to play on, looking for options further forward. Cleverly picked out a target in Abby Lunson. Lunson, first inside 50 to the Devils. Well cut off by Enns.
Just got to be in front in that type of situation. She just gave a player way too much space to come in and cut it off then.
Enns went wide, looking for a captain in Finlay, trying to get away from Wheeler. Two players, former teammates at Wilston Grange. And then pumped out at defence by Hayley Jones. Enjoying life in Australia, coming from Ontario, where she's popping back towards the end of the season, then going to play a season in the Northern Territory. Once the Aussie rules bug gets you, doesn't matter how Canadian you are. Get to the umpires shortly. Pepper Pulteney, unopposed in that particular ruck contest. Went wide and out on the full. Wasn't able to get it to Lana Lowry. And so the first clanger of Jarrah Corporate Pride Round. The umpires for today in the field, Lachlan Fennell and Jason Mitchell. On the boundary, Leo Fratis and Anthony Little. In goal, Zoe Matthews and Finn Maddock. And they are proudly sponsored by Bradnam's Windows and Doors. And as soon as we see some action on the scoreboard, white flags for behinds, rainbow flags for goals. Goodwin punching hard over the back and was just able to stop the play ahead of Shiner. We're in the northwest of Brisbane, very leafy part of the world, and apparently a part of the world that houses Russian spies. That's something new. That throwing to be taken again. Rainbow socks on the umpires, and they have the good decency to pull them up as well so you can see all the colours. Pulteney again. Went round the side to Lunson. Lunson breaks away over the back of Anderson. And again, just not really getting a flow on early in this first encounter.
They really just need to bring it in the inside, don't they, to get away from those ball ups and get some play happening.
Yeronga winless for the last year and a half. Sadly, it's up to 25 losses in a row, but Wilston Grange broke a 14-match losing streak against Yeronga, and Yeronga nearly scored the upset of the century on Pride Round last year, so magic things happen. Moving the ball well inside front 50. Finning at the back. Just able to bring proceedings to a halt, and so Yeronga moving forward rugby union style at the moment. Pulteney getting over Shiner. Wheeler around the outside was watched well by Jasmine Ware. Ware's mostly been playing wide this season, but brought into the inside of midfield today. Certainly got the skills. Pulteney and Shiner. Back to Wynn. Well, if you enjoy the sound of a whistle, it's been a great game so far. The back of the contest, Dardley. She's
Very
turned 360
congested,
hill, sorry.
isn't it? No, I was going to say, it's very congested. It's ball up after ball up. They really just need to be a little bit more disciplined and draw themselves out of the contest so they can get some ball movement and handballs and then get the kick out.
And even then, it's Wynn at the back of the contest. I was going to say even Pulteney's tapping it to the outside. Satchisiv let it fall in front of her. Finning to clean up. She has a long kick, which is not a bad effort for an ice hockey goalkeeper outside the 50. They began the year in attack, Finning, scored 4 goals in a match against UQ. And then I think it was against Southport where Phil Tonkin decided, I think I've got a fullback there. And she excelled. Beautiful work underneath the contest from O'Donnell. Her left foot's been around, I think this is their 4th year in the top competition. Then Daisy Carter, who's been one of the strongest players physically in the competition for about the same length of time. Pulteney tapping infield on that occasion. Didn't quite get the clearance, and in fact it's gone to Shiner. She could only find Goodwin. Goodwin, not her best kick of the day. Good work again through the midfield. Moving forward, just sharked in front of Howell. Wilston Grange with an opportunity as it knocks forward towards Carter. Carter was brought down fairly quickly. Same whistles under end of the field. Not the prettiest kick in field, but it yields a result. Pulteney found a good run, and then Matenga. Not paid, no prior opportunity, but that's pretty typical of Matenga's defensive efforts. Just a bit of pulling off the ball before it was grabbed and played on quickly. Matenga, she'll go inside 50. Good punch at the back from Carmody for UQ. Round the side went Gear. Gear turns 360, looks for an option inside. It was not 15 except for the jersey number. Carter went out to Hamilton. Hamilton not able to get good purchase on the kick. Cleaned up by Burnett. A short 15, but also a sure mark. Burnett will keep it wide, which seems to be Yeronga's plan early. And Hill is initially cradled and then thrown to ground. Remember, playing at 10 in the morning, more of a VFLW thing. We don't do that too often here in Queensland. Despite having the better weather, don't we, Sky?
Much better, I've got to say.
Chelsea Wynn. I can't remember whether she's first or second in disposals and clearances for the year, but she's up there. And then a bottom-ranked side, she's been important. Finds the boundary on this occasion, however. Celebre and Fletcher preparing to come on for Wilston Grange. As Emily Keane goes into the ruck. Former track and field athlete. Win again not far from the action on the outside, but Yeronga will clear. Again, very close to the boundary. Finning read that half an hour ago. He's able to get the handball forward, turned over, although that implies there was control in the first place. First of 4 games today. Next up at midday, Cooperoo versus the University of Queensland. And Astley versus Bond. Strong tackle causes the turnover. Wilston Grange move forward. Just outside the run of Hayley Jones. And just for a change, we'll have a boundary throw-in. The amount of stoppages, this is like the Aussie Rules version of ASMR, I think. Very, very calming.
Goals are going to be very important today, Daniel. As soon as you can get a score on that board, it's going to be a big up in this game.
They're almost worth double, aren't they? As Finning gets it through, hits the shin of her forward in Jones. A little bit of ball movement. Hamilton escaped a strong tackle. Goes back inside towards, that was Ware. Over the top, they have a good opportunity. Carmody semi-able to clear. The tackle was desperate. Shackleton! Lauren Shackleton opens the scoring in the 2024 Jarrah Corporate Pride Round.
That's unlucky there from the defence. They did the right thing, come off, attack the ball, and if they just needed that clean possession to get out of there, you know, you can't be leaving a forward dangling back in the goal square like that. And as the goal we spoke of, right on cue.
You make things happen, Sky Burgess. It's your world and we're just living in it. But no, Lauren Shackleton was a fullback at Wilston Grange for, good 5-6 years. Before that, she was a cricketer. She was leading wicket taker in Brisbane first grade about 6-7 years ago. And that was in a side that had people like Beth Mooney in it. But moving forward just in the last couple of years, she's learned the craft quickly. Beautiful work from Celebre in the middle. Gets it forward quickly. The one-on-one contest goes underneath everyone. Picked up by Hewitt at the back, one of the quicker players in this competition. Intercepted by Matenga. Matenga looking for forward options. Goes short, Celebre. Not sure if kicking to the contest was the right option. Time will tell. Yeronga had first hands to the marking contest. Again out the back. I think it was Shackleton who was tackled. Just unable to break away anyone. Matenga gets a big bump from Lowry off the ball. It was just a collision. And Gear's able to cut it off. Gets on her bike straight away. Looking for the pocket for the run of Welsh. Gets it behind her. Good charge down. Might have been Carmody behind the contest with the top bun. And they've defied the Gorillas for now. In fact, apologies, that's a Wilston Grange free kick. I missed that. They'll go in towards the square, looking for a marking target. That was well read at the back by Hill. And in the end, the Grange forwards might just like to look at themselves and go, hang on, which one of us was supposed to go up for that? Because none of us did. Clearance cut off by Celebre. Had a short option in Gear. Had the ball tucked under the arm and wasn't in a physical position to take advantage of it. Probably more of a snap on the impossible angle than a set shot goal scorer, Celebre, but there's plenty of skill there. Decent length. It won't clear the defence. Lowry, I think, got hands onto it. Good grief, that missed everyone.
I was going to say they were celebrating pretty quickly then. That's a great goal. That's a decent distance out. So
I was going to say what I thought I saw, but it's completely irrelevant. And Naomi Celebre, see, the commentator's curse is alive and well. I'm saying she's not that good on the set shot. She can thank me later.
She did really great work then. When it was deep in, before it even came back out, she was actually very, very smart about where she was setting up. She got herself on her own and just set up where that ball would spit out, and that she's got reward for it, so that's great to see.
Scored one of the goals of the year against Yeronga last year at Hickey Park. The only problem was that Mia Gear scored the goal of the year about half an hour later. It's Gear now, going through the middle. Clears, over the back of Matthews. Carmody sprinted forward well. She has a bit of a dump kick outside 50. And well taken by the platted Gear on the right wing. She was aiming for Celebre. And that's Goodwin, who overcooks her kick. Anderson releases O'Donnell out wide. Kicked on her weaker right foot. And Chelsea Wynn said, thank you. Wynn will go left. And Good positioning. On the far side from possibly Patterson. Anderson. Another former forward who's ended up in the back line, and her intercept marking is expert. Jamie Howell was able to dispose. Rosenthal off the ground. Anderson get front position again. Handball out of desperation. Another handball through the middle. Just landed short of the target. It's Molly Patterson, the number 39 jersey for Yeronga, who is 16 years old and currently a member of the Queensland Open Age baseball team. Made a thrilling debut earlier this year, which can be seen on YouTube. Pettigrew escapes Satchisiv, gets some kind of kick away, back to the centre square. Celebre. Left foot through the middle. Just moving it slightly wide as play finally comes over towards the commentary side. And again hacked out of the middle by Keane. Burnett didn't quite attack it. Hamilton did. Hamilton puts the afterburners on. It's going to miss to the left. But that gives you some idea of what Summer Hamilton can do to a football game that's not moving that quickly. Minor score to Wilston Grange. They're 2-1-13. Yeronga had the early territory, but since then, probably a bit more composure from the Gorillas. As the baseballer unable to keep it in the diamond. There appear to be rainbow-coloured birthday balloons down beneath us, forming the number 20. No, that's a 5. Apologies, it was upside down.
I was just thinking that in my head. I was like, is it maybe 50 games?
That's probably nearer the mark.
It could be anything. You never know.
Oh, I can speculate for a profession. Useful? No. Entertaining? Sometimes. Goodwin against Shiner. Over the shoulder from Gear. Plays the 1-2. Flat kick inside 50. Didn't really hit the target she wanted. Goes behind Matthews. Welsh. They know each other's games well. Welsh, a former captain at Wilston Grange. Gets it out to win. That was clever from Matthews on the ground. Then moved it up towards Lee. Merely Lee, who's been playing forward most of the year, but moved onto the wing in recent times. And at 5'11" or 180 centimetres. A lot of tall wingers in the men's game, not so many in the women's. Ularo Dwyer is about as tall as it gets. Fletcher just ran past it ahead of Lee, and then a lot of bumping over the ball. Took a while for someone to pick it up. Kicked inside 50. Good tumbling mark from Hamilton. She has a Rising Star nomination this year. Yes, Havana Harris is probably the favourite, or possibly Georgia Davis, but I don't think anyone who's been watching Wilston Grange this year will forget the debut season of Summer Hamilton. About 30 from goal. Didn't miss to the right by much. And she didn't kick that properly. Came off sort of high on the boot and still went about 30.
Just kind of scooped it a little bit. Didn't quite follow through properly with that proper penetration. She might have got a bit more connection with it.
Burnett. Good work through to Goodwin. Was looking for Lunson, but decided to kick and found Satchisiv. Late in the first, Yeronga looking to string some disposals together. Finning was strong. Then wrapped up by Bellinger. Released. Goodwin. Also wrapped up by Finning, who's racking up stats. But there's plenty of time for Yeronga. Still over 3 minutes left in this term. Pulteney. Released Lunson wide. Lunson inside 50. Looking for a captain Bellinger. Finning has been sterling at the back in this first quarter. Took a long run. Was being chased by Rachel Harris and won that particular race. Rosenthal did well against two Gorillas. They're able to keep moving it forward. Rosenthal again at the back of the contest. Inside 50, good diving mark forward. And this is an opportunity for the Gorillas, for the Devils rather.
That's much better, isn't it? They just need to get it on the boot and get it down there. It might not be pretty, but at least with it down there, they've got that opportunity to make something happen.
So Lucy Bellinger in the left forward pocket, sending players forward. She goes to the square. Pulteney through the hands. Just trickles out for a boundary throw in, possibly the best result for Yeronga. Opportunity not lost. Of course, if Pulteney had marked, she would have had a difficult but achievable shot. Bellinger on the side. Just missed. But they're on the board, the Devils.
And that's a great contest. She's in the right positioning. She's got clean possession, so that's really good. She may have missed, but they're certainly starting to find their feet a little bit now in the game.
So Finning will come very wide to her captain in Findlay. Has Fletcher near the boundary. I think she's looking for something a bit deeper. And she's certainly in no hurry with a 14 points to 1 lead. Gear. Moving it wide well. Released Ware. And then Matenga. Matenga driving forward towards Shackleton. Has Welsh in the area as well. Shackleton has a lot of space. Maybe had a bit more time than she thought, but Welsh is going to win this race. Up against Hewitt. In fact, I spoke too soon. I forgot how quick Hewitt is. Not that Welsh is slow. Then puts the tackle on. And Welsh versus Hewitt. A nice little one-on-one there late in the first.
Yeah, that was great work by Hewitt, wasn't it? She just did enough to get it out of that danger zone, make the ball up happen, and now her teammates can get there and help her.
It's not often it's an achievement to beat someone in a race who's twice your age, but against Kylie Welsh, it's always an achievement. Hamilton goes check side. Won't be strong enough. And Goodwin ate that without a napkin. Not her best kick. Still found a target. And they may just get away with this, or maybe not, as it came inside from where? Howell. Back to Matenga. Matenga got the taste for goals in recent times. This time, Shackleton will be disappointed. As Grange get their third behind of the quarter. They're up to 15. Wilston Grange definitely on top at quarter time here at the South Pine Sporting Complex. Round 12 of the Bond University QAFLW, and it's Jarrah Corporate Pride Round. Wilston Grange 2-3-15, leading Yeronga 1 behind. This is the last year that rainbow coloured numbers. Well, actually, no. They've already been outlawed, but Wilston Grange had already ordered a whole consignment of jerseys, so they've been given an extra year. Yeah, it's, you can't. Adrian Richardson was up here for ages before trying to. So, yeah, it looks luxurious up here, but it isn't. There's possibly someone from, because it happens every day, it will always be used, so clearly someone from Wilston, it won't be deep because he's running, but someone knows what they're doing with the players, given it's happening. Did I understand correctly? Cool. Oh, is there things to read out? Oh, wonderful, thank you. That's fine. Notice how I'm not asking why we didn't get this last night, but anyway. So this is mainly a damn job, even though I've had one of the best I've got there. So I'm not fit. I've got written down that was Naomi Celebrate, who number 45 consultancy needs, go to Jara Corporate.
Right, so do we go like through when
Oh, that's standard. Okay, ready to come back in as soon as you are, Tom?
I'll give you a countdown. Thanks. 3, 2, 1.
We are at South Pine Sporting Complex in Brendale in the northwest of Brisbane. The first match of Jarrah Corporate Pride round 12 of the Bond University QAFLW. Wilston Grange 2-3-15 leading Yeronga 1 behind. My name is Daniel Viles. Sky Burgess, your thoughts on a first quarter which, Wilston Grange certainly dominated on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was great. You could tell there was a lot of pressure early on at the start of the game. There was, not a whole lot of clean possession and a lot of finding the boundaries. But as the quarter went on, they certainly started to find their feet. I think Wilston Grange started to dominate the contest a little bit, and just once they got it in their 50, they were a lot more dominant.
So Wilston Grange in the navy, running to the right of your screen. Yeronga in their black with the rainbow sash this week, running to your left. Through the middle, that was a strong run from Dardley, just took it a little bit too much. But she has been impressive in recent weeks, Tamika Dardley, particularly in a loss to UQ at Hickey Park a few weeks ago. That was a morning game as well. Goodwin straight up the guts, looking for Wheeler. Cut off by Pulteney. And then Jones did well at the back. Looking for Anderson. The handball just fell a bit short. Anderson recovering well with the tackle. And then brought to ground by Sienna Wilson. Another wide player in good form, this time for Yeronga. And Wilson and Dudley, a couple of talented 16-year-olds. Pulteney from a fair way out, looking for Lowry. Lowry unable to hold on. Jacinta Enns cleans up and is wrapped up by Lowry. Ends out, jumps Pulteney, that's significant. Wheeler, round the outside, Morisuji's shot was blocked. And Wilston Grange don't concede. O'Donnell does well. O'Donnell does very well. Danced with the boundary line. Got it up towards Dardley. Hill on the ground. It's an oxymoron. Jones. But turned over to Hewitt. Hewitt tried to use her pace, didn't quite get away. Then lost the ball, and I think Keane realised that she held on too long. And being the good-natured person she is, just held her hand up in guilt. So Jamie Howell looks towards the right pocket. Lowry just got underneath it a bit, came in maybe half a step too far, and allowed Finning to clean up behind her. Big opportunity for Yeronga. Since they need to make this count, Pulteney knocked it forward, but O'Donnell was there. Satchisiv knocked it into space. Morisuji's kick was punched away by Jones. Cleaned up by Wilson. Just knocked it forward to a teammate. Win. Hill. Hill looking for space. Finds some. Not able to get a clean kick away. Underneath Celebre. Very congested play. Turnovers are plenty. Cleared by Findlay. Taken by Goodwin. Yeronga locking it inside forward 50. They had possession for a long time in the first quarter, but it was all on the wing outside 50. This is deeper. Anderson. Took on too much. Deemed to have lost the ball. And Sophie Wheeler will have a shot from very close range. Wheeler, the second top goal scorer in Wilston Grange history, scores Yeronga's first on Jarrah Corporate Pride round.
They needed that, didn't they? Just to keep themselves in the game, get a little bit of motivation going again.
I suppose, Sky, the one advantage of congested play was that they forced Wilston Grange into about 3 or 4 dump kicks and were able to send it back inside 50 each time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get it in there. Get it in there, and especially getting a goal from a free kick like that. Sometimes if it's not happening for you, even drawing those free kicks and making things like that happen, any way you can get it is great.
Probably the one skill that Shelley's Anderson hasn't quite worked out as a defender is as a forward, charge and take on the defence, but it can cost you like that if you do it out of defence. as the fat commentator tries to tell Schlese Anderson how to play defence. Keane underneath the pack, got it forward just on the half volley to I think Welsh. Yeronga turned it over, but it was unclean to Pulteney. Just squeezed out the back of the contest, but still no one really in possession until Welsh was. Now Grange are able to hack it forward. They're inside 50, but the quick Howell. Lovely lay off to Carmody. Not such a lovely kick. Fletcher racing onto it. Has Shackleton further forward, but Howell just got underneath it. Fell to Shackleton. Through to Gear. Mia Gear hooks it. No goal of the year just yet.
Wilston Grange did great then, didn't they? They just had all the numbers flooding back. That handball could have gone to a couple of people.
So Grange's turn to see if they can lock it inside 50. Or just score. That's the other option, of course. Their lead reduced in this second quarter. Coaches love a quick response. Pulteney just seemed to hang in the air. I think she's number 2 for hit-outs in the competition this year behind Maisie Evans of Bond. Just kicked off the ground. I think it might have been O'Donnell. Trying to work it out was Lunson. Celebre off the left. Touched in flight. Goodwin's able to clear. Until picked off by Ends a little bit easily. In towards Matenga, not a usual marking target. Gear looking for space. Beats 2 players. Has a bounce in congestion. Inside towards Shiner. Hewitt pounced well. She clears only as far as Finning. The second 5 minutes of this quarter is looking much like the first 5, except at the other end. Knocked back towards Shiner. Had play outside from Jones. Into space. It was a good wide run, and then shut down in defence by Goodwin. There's a reason Queensland picked it for fullback. Played very well against the Tasmanians down at Bond Uni Oval, did Maddie Goodwin. Pulteney, one of her easier ruck takes of the year. Out of zone umpire spotted something. And I think the reason Pulteney was able to take that uncontested is because the Wilston Grange ruck was held off the ball. Callista Jane Shiner with a shot. Been playing forward more in the last couple of years. Back in her Cooperoo days, she was mainly a halfback. It's wide, but good angle for a right footer. Not the cleanest kick, will fall short, but then it's loose. Important tackle from Matthews. Deemed over, no. No free kick to Matt. I think Matthews thought she'd been pinged, and having had a few chats with Jess, I think she sometimes she hears a whistle and just assumed that the umpire's found something wrong that she's done. She has resting guilt face. Not really. Broken free on the outside, found the run of Millen. Millen looks like just unable to keep that in. But at any rate, the closest to it was an opponent in the form of Finlay.
It's not the worst case scenario for Yeronga because Wilston Grange literally was set up beautifully behind the ball. Then they had a whole wall of spare players. So Yeronga were going to really struggle to get past that wall. So at least that's given their players an opportunity to move up the ground.
A tactical boundary finder, says Sky Burgess. Gear, Anderson. Back inside and found Pettigrew. Hits the deck. Matenga. Not a bad left foot kick. Foot race on the outside. And Goodwin wins it. Well, won the first one. Oh, hint of a sling tackle, and that's exactly how Jason Mitchell sees it.
I think the wind is starting to pick up there, Daniel. We look like we've got a couple of signs that are going to fly away down here.
I thought you were talking about why the tackle was slung. It wasn't actually her. It was the wind. It was the wind that
just
knocked it
took
out.
her away.
So.
No, it's something they're going to have to be careful now, especially when you kick it down the boundary.
But you're right. The temperature's in the high teens, but it is humid, around 50% or so, a bit over. It won't rain today, but the wind is around, well, it's 20 plus k's an hour. Satchisiv has it on the right-hand side, gets a call inside from Howell, And her handball was nearly pickpocketed by Donataccio. Hasn't been as active in 2024 as she was in 2023, Gemma Donataccio, but that was a high standard. She was outstanding wide in defence in 2023 for the Gorillas. Free kick, there was pulling off the ball, and Shiner inside to Matenga. Wilston Grange using the free kick well, going to a one-on-one contest. Good body position meant that, through the legs of Hewitt, and the good work may be undone. A push off the ball from Ware. Working through the middle, wrapped up straight away. Just a normal stoppage. I dare say the hit-out numbers are going to be enormous in this match because there's been a lot of restarts. Shiner, beautifully knocked out the side to Dudley. Further work inside from Senior. More on her in a moment. Still moving it forward. Yeronga got back in numbers. And eventually the tackle was strong but high. And Yeronga not quite dodge a bullet, but they at least reported the gun to police before it fired. That's a weird metaphor, Daniel. Goodwin. Win. Has options. Poltney's further forward. Kicks over her head. And gives a chase to Millen. Clever work from Millen. Just couldn't gather it before she got to ends. Lowry puts her frame in the way and says, bang into it as hard as you like. I ain't moving. The jerseys are very similar coloured today, but I think Lana Lowry is one of the more distinctive players on the field. Hacked in field. Good run from Senior. 16 tackles down at Bond University last week, equal most for the year. And one of the people who tied with her was Courtney Sexton on the other side. It was a tackle festival at the Canal. Poltney was looking for Rosenthal. Good work from Gear on the ground. Nearly got an accidental trip and held her feet very well. Looked at the back of the contest. Ware left it for Pettigrew. Pettigrew thumps. And then followed up her own kick very well. And was introduced to the turf by Burnett. Win. Got onto her straight away was Ware. Ware a train on with the Gold Coast Suns as of about a month or two ago. They like what they see. Win out the back. Good tackle. Might have been Fletcher, it was. Surprisingly strong player, Katie Fletcher. Over the head of Carmody. That may fall to Celebre. Carmody read it well. Got back, but Gear has front position. Has Hamilton inside. Ran away from her. Looked for Fletcher. Fumbled. Knocked back in defence. Might fall to Dardley. Through to Celebre. Celebre snaps and banged it into the post. Minor score for the Gorillas, who have been in their own quarter for long parts of this half and have only conceded 2 scoring shots. Good leap on the near side and then brought to ground. It was merely Lee. He's come up from Toowoomba this year, another young player, good tall. Lowry beaten out by Keane. Hamilton has Fletcher behind her. Fletcher looks for space. Long handball picked off by Lowry. Comes out wide to Carter. Carter snaps, it'll miss to the right. And Carmody had it covered in any case. Carmody having a good positional day at fullback, I'd suggest, Sky.
Absolutely.
And is given an acre of space to just go for a Saturday morning trundle. To the contest, Finning thought she had it. Ends up being turned over. Lee, Satchisiv. Yeronga handballing on the right. Too much? You be the judge. Finning ran into trouble. Pickpocketed well. Yeronga able to turn it over, but they turn it over in turn straight away. Holding off the ball. A free kick won by the Gorillas. I believe where. She'll come straight back towards the D. Fletcher went flying, probably about half an hour early. And there was a push off the ball, had nothing to do with Fletcher. In fact, Fletcher was deemed to have been pushed. The target was Hamilton, fell behind her, leaded well at the back. Was able to hook it out. Satchisiv, strong in the tackle, and then cleared by Patterson. Finlay makes a strong tackle, and the sky is blue. Mostly. Finlay tackles strongly every time she tackles. That was the point I was trying to make.
I got it, but you did make me look at the sky. It is actually very blue.
Yeah. Yeah, meteorology not my strong point. Win inside to Lowry, check side out of the contest. And long before that got to a play, I think the kicker might have been taken out. Jason Mitchell spotted something nowhere near the contest.
Did not give us a signal yet.
No. And I just realised he was tucking his shirt in for a moment because I've been watching Euro 2024. I thought he was reaching for a yellow card.
They're a lot more rare in this league.
It's like writing in the notepad, so he's possibly put someone or something on report. Emily Keane has the hand on hips. And because they happened away from the play,
And the 50.
So whether something was said or whether that's for the original offence, I'm not sure. But either way, Wilston Grange needs to regroup in defence, which to be fairness they have, because that all took rather a long time. Yeronga has the free kick. They go into the right pocket. Good run by Satchisiv, unable to hold on, but she still has space. Low kick towards the pocket. And she, out on the full, she'd already stepped out. Preparing for a throw-in, so had already stepped out when she kicked it, I feel. So Yeronga winning this quarter 7 points to 2. Handballed straight out of play, couldn't find Satchisiv in the pocket. Cooperoo versus UQ next, followed by Astley versus Bond, followed by Maroochydore versus Southport. Hit win on the toe, but not the way she wanted. Couldn't be picked up by Celebre. Wilston Grange regained possession in front of the scoreboard. It's being expertly operated to my left. Gear in field. Didn't get a lot of purchase on it. Lowry brings the last player to ground as again, bit congested. And to be fair, Sky, the conditions probably aren't as good as they might look on camera.
What do you reckon's lacking out of the conditions today?
Well, the wind is there, and I think because there's a lot of humidity, it looks very pleasant, and the temperature's not high, but it can be a kind of energy-sapping day.
Yeah, it does. At least it's overcast, so the sun's not bearing down on you. That's the worst thing when you're playing footy and you're boiling hot and the sun is belting down on you. So hopefully the cloud coverage is giving them a bit of relief.
And Daniel has just managed to convince a Victorian that the weather in front of her is not good.
I would have said it was a near perfect day for footy outside the wind.
Oh,
So that's why I questioned you.
When you're used to better, Sky.
I know, I think back home it's belting down rain and the girls are playing in hail, so you know.
Rosenthal got a kick through, was well covered by the Gorillas' defence. Then just a hint of high contact. I think, in fairness, it was wrapped around the shoulder. But Yeronga have a chance for a late goal, which would really open this game up. Lowry, clever tap over the back, but didn't have someone equally clever behind her. The clearance from Wilston Grange was a little soft. Went wide again, Celebre's able to clear. She's worked well at both ends of the field. Obviously she's scored today, but she's also done a lot of work in her back third.
Very courageous by both girls, and they put a head over the ball, and just when I thought we were going to have a head clash for a second.
As a kick to the square didn't find a target. But you're absolutely right, Sky, is that Okay, let's leave the conditions alone for a moment. I think Wilston Grange, they want to win this to just keep any finals chance alive. But I think Yeronga see this as a game where they might break the drought. And sometimes, just thinking in the Grange mindset, there can be times where you think, hang on, we don't want to be the team where we're the first to lose to a team for ages. And just sometimes that can just play in the old noggin a little bit.
No one likes to lose, and people do certainly like to pick the underdog. They like to see teams get up and win that haven't had that chance for a while. So you're right, it's sometimes not the best position to be in.
Wheeler got a shot towards goal, but cleaned up with typical aplomb by Grace O'Donnell at the back, who then found a target further forward in Donataccio. Got it to Dardley, tackled by Burnett, and then everyone left it behind as though it suddenly became radioactive. Yeronga just getting it, keeping possession. Hewitt inside to Goodwin, beats one tackle, got the handball away, and Carter saw that the ball would be loose, then had an air swing, and you're right, the tackle from Goodwin was good.
Stuck it. That was absolutely excellent. She was coming out of his speed, so to be able to stick that tackle, strong work.
And I think Goodwin, quite rightly, wants the... I thought she wanted the shot, and in the end... Okay, Maddie Goodwin of 4 years ago, there is no way she would have not said, give me a shot from 70. But, as it is, Wilston Grange protect their goal in the last few minutes of the second quarter, and they take a lead into half-time. 2-5-17 to Yeronga 1-1-7. Goal scorers Shackleton and Celebre for Wilston Grange, and Sophie Wheeler for Yeronga. This is round 12 of the Bond University QAFLW, and it is Jarrah Corporate Pride Round here from the South Pine Sporting Complex in Brendale.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's half time in the first game of our Bond University QAFLW Pride Round fixture. It is great today to have Jarrah Corporate on board as our statewide AFL Queensland Pride Round partner. AFL Queensland is committed to providing a safe, fun and inclusive environment for all people, including those of diverse sexualities and genders. We are passionate about helping people lead happy, healthy and active lives. Celebrate today the diversity of abilities, skills, cultural background, ethnicity, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, location, religious or political beliefs on the life stage. Today's Jarrah Corporate Round is an opportunity to raise awareness that the challenge is still facing LGBTQI+ athletes and officials within sport, and first to remind our community that we have zero tolerance for any form of homophobia, biphobia and transphobia. A huge thank you to the Ashes Football Club for being host of our 2024 event. We've got a massive day ahead, so please enjoy the festivities and the football and have a great day.
This is South Pine Sporting Complex at Brendale. It's Jarrah Corporate Pride Round, round 12 of the Bond University QAFLW. First of 4 games today. It's a festival here at South Pine. Wilston Grange 2-5-17 leading Yeronga 1-1-7. Goal scorers Lauren Shackleton and Naomi Celebre for Wilston Grange, Sophie Wheeler for Yeronga. My name's Daniel Viles. With me is Sky Burgess. Sky, maybe not the most attractive game of football we've seen this year, but plenty of intensity out there.
Yeah, it's not. I think you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said there is a fair bit on the line, even though it's, you know, not the top sides. There's a lot hanging on. One team wants to win, the other team wants to keep their finals dream alive. So when a game comes with that much pressure and they're fighting for something, you know, the skills sometimes aren't the best, and we're just seeing that pressure style footy today. Actually,
I'll ask you for a comparison. You've come from the Ovens and Murray League in Victoria. One thing I've noticed in the Bond University QAFLW over the past 5 years is how much the skill level at the bottom has risen. I mean, you expect the top 4 teams to be good, but 7th versus 8th now, which this isn't, is much better than it used to be. Have you seen that in other parts of Australia where you've observed footy?
To be honest, Ovens and Murray is miles behind Queensland footy. You know, our league's only 5 years old, so we had the top 2 teams that were absolutely dominating, and then the rest were kind of, you know, struggling for numbers, and we're bringing in new teams, and it just, so when you come to a standard like this, yeah, they are certainly miles above what I've seen.
Thank you for your input, Sky. That matters, as does this third quarter. Wilston Grange in the dark blue, Yeronga in the black, and Callista Jane Shiner in the pink headgear. Pulteney gets the win. Millen through the middle, takes a tumble. Gear breaks a tackle, important. Short pass, beautiful 1-2 with Ware. Gear through the middle. I've seen something like this before. She will lay it up inside 50. Is looking for Shackleton. That's a training drill.
She's playing phenomenal today, Mia Gear. She's got that. She's got the run. She's got the duck and weave, and she's got the skills to finish off. So I'm super impressed by her today.
She's got about 20 years of her career ahead of her as well. Lauren Shackleton already on the scoreboard today. Perfect start for Wilston Grange in the third quarter. And Shackleton now has 9 goals for the year. Only 10 in her career, which basically translates as fullback. And remember, it was Yeronga who won the clearance in the middle. It was Millen crashed through. There was a strong tackle on her, and that's when Gear started weaving magic. Pulteney again. Gear knocked it backwards away from Millen. And if Millen had got a better bounce, she could have done a Gear, as it were. In the end, Gear tried to do a Gear and ran into Pulteney, who was doing a Pulteney. Good work from Shiner. And then Millen again, very involved early. Win out towards Wilson. Realised she had nowhere to go. Knocked loose. Strong tackle from Dardley. Now through the middle from Ware. Lays off to Fletcher. Shrugs off a tackle. High kick. May not get to where it was intended. Finds Matenga anyway. Beautiful rebound. Up towards Shackleton. It's just off target. But Wilston Grange keeping it in the front 50. Now, I did make a mistake in my online preview. I said this would be Wilston Grange's 6th win of the year. Will, in fact, be their 5th if they get up today. Oh, Carmody, not her best kick of the day. Found the target, but was very hard to Burnett, who does expertly to recover from the situation. Shiner and Pulteney both went the punch, and in the end, I think it just bounced off the ground. Lots of good 1%ers on the ground. Just knocked out of the bottom of the pack by Hamilton.
Paid the free there as well.
To Yeronga, thanks for picking up on that. I lost Summer Hamilton in underneath another player. So Yeronga need to make better use of this clearance. They do already, although again, just went through the hands of Hewitt. Ware forward, that's a long range goal. In fact, it's Dardley, apologies. Tamika Dardley, been looking good all year.
I would like to know what was said at them at halftime, to be honest. They have come out absolutely firing.
I think Phil Tonkin just read them poetry. I think that's his style, but no, brilliant. And that is Tanika Dardley's first goal in the Bond University QAFLW. Came from Mount Gravatt last year. And that one, unfortunately for Yeronga's perspective, 2 clearances in a row didn't hit a defensive target. Dardley pounced. Gear. Yet another clearance. Releases Matenga wide. Wilston Grange on a big roll. They've scored twice already in this quarter. Matenga dances. Gets it towards the 50. Just through. Hamilton gets goal side. Didn't have the ball, but she did have the tackle as Matthews cleaned. Beats everyone. Is that Findlay crashing through underneath? Went for the soccer. In the end, I think put her own forward offside. Still in play. And that shot wasn't necessarily going to miss. Gets ahead of Jones. Shackleton fell loose. Yeronga got a fortunate bounce. Which, to be honest, they probably deserved one after the last couple of minutes. Carmody gives it back to the umpire. Grange out to a 23-point lead. Hamilton, unable to break the tackle. Handball away to Jones. That's gone underneath the foot. Hayley Jones.
I don't know why she went the foot there. Stuck the foot out instead of, trying to get to it and smother it.
Possibly the ball dipped on her and she thought, okay, that's going to hit my leg, so I'll just stick it out. And then suddenly it went underneath.
That's just natural instincts, isn't it?
Yeah, if you'd ever seen me play, I wouldn't know. But even just for Hayley Jones to get that onto her weaker left foot, second goal of the year for the Canadian. Takes a well-deserved breather, gets the high five from the coaching staff. Matt Truella, who's been at Wilston Grange for what can be described as a fair spread of years. 3 quick goals for the Gorillas in the first quarter. Wynn does her best. Hill falls back to Carter. Strong connection with Celebre, which cannot possibly have been deliberate. Wynn gets wide, looking for the run by Thinkley. Findlay hovering. Poltney, clever. Tried to get underneath, was looking for Bellinger. Falls out the front. Yeronga inside 50. Anderson in a lot of space. She'll clear balletically. Burnett. Good work in defence, not a good kick. Plenty of pressure on it. Turned over by Gear. Inside, Carter putting her head over the ball, as did Goodwin. Carter versus Goodwin, that'd need a seismograph if they collided at full speed. I have to cancel the rest of Pride Day because the ground had imploded. Good work at the back from Hewitt. But inside, Matenga has front position. Goodwin in front of her. Clever over her. Fletcher just couldn't hold on to it. I think she spent that before she bought it. Good work through the middle from O'Donnell. Hewitt again. The soccer skills are working well and got a pass away to Satchisiv under the tackle of Fletcher. Strong work from Georgia Hewitt. Satchisiv goes wide, finds Goodwin. Racking up the possessions today. And then picked off by Finning. Hasn't needed to do that for a while, but she must have a few intercept marks today. Strong from Hill. Put up a fair argument to say Hill's been the best on the field for Yeronga today. Through to Wynn. Wynn will go inside 50, or just fall short rather. Satchisiv got a punch on. Maybe not enough numbers at the ball, and O'Donnell was positioned beautifully. Through to Keane. Keane and Hill collide. Hill did well, got it to Wynn. Back towards Rosenthal, who had to remember which way she was going, poor girl. That was a bit patronising, I was trying to show sympathy. Turned around from Celebre to Welsh. Howell attacked it from a long way back. Howell falling over the tackle, but put pressure on Welsh. Good work around the back from Donataccio. She propels it. Went underneath Burnett. Burnett recovered beautifully. Rosenthal knows which way she's going this time. Picked off by Donataccio. She goes a bit deeper with this kick. Celebre, sorry, that was Lowry. Wrong blonde. Wide to Rosenthal. Got it inside to Howell. The tackle was strong, rode it well. Yeronga on the attack in this pinballing section of the third quarter. Ends up at the back again with Donataccio. Stays in. Rosenthal was protected as she was the only one who didn't stop playing. Not a high bar to clear, but easily the most entertaining part of the match so far, Sky. Because it's all about us. And I thought she had that one-handed. Showed good skill and then was picked up by Burnett. Apologies, Bellinger, the other captain. I think we've successfully stolen Bellinger from South Australia. Originally from Glenelg, came up when she was drafted by the Lions. Now an institution at Yeronga. Welsh forward, over the head of Celebre, has Burnett for company. Lowry providing protection at the back. Burnett still not able to get away. Wonderful, I think that's a triple effort, possibly Hamilton underneath there. Oh, Hamilton and Burnett. Now they are two of the nicest people in the comp, but they don't like each other right now. Which is why I wanted to see that fight go on longer. I didn't really.
Just a little bit of a push and shove, nothing too intense.
No. Gear around the outside, hugging the boundary. And Lowry realises the danger is minimal. Still trying to work out, Sky, whether Yeronga are hugging the boundary as an attacking tactic or is just almost damage control.
Yeah, it's a hard one to get in a coach's mind, isn't it? You just never know what the message is getting out there. It's certainly a lot hard. Like, you kick it out on the full and you turn it over, and then even with the contest, you know, it's giving them Wilston and Grange a chance to set up. So I'd almost be just trying to gain territory. But, you know, every coach is different, Daniel. We can't speculate what they're being told out there.
That is literally your job, to speculate how they're being told.
We can speculate, but we'll never know. Is that better?
Yeah, it's all care and no responsibility up here, Sky. Falls in the middle of the rucks. Lunson was looking for crumbs on the near side. Rosenthal, again, was thinking about where to run before she had possession properly. Howell finds a clearance. There was Holt. Oh! Howell thought she was away, and maybe the reason she was is because the Wilston Grange player, possibly M. Keane, is being held off the ball. Keane does not yet have a first-grade Bond University QAFLW goal. Won't have one here. Goes a bit shorter. Fell in the basket. Fletcher brought down beautifully from behind. Strong tackle from Jamie Howell. Been a brilliant quarter so far by the Gorillas. Gear, looking for space. Thought about putting it on the left. She's run away from Howell, about 20 metres backwards, and given Yeronga a chance to attack the ball. Howell round to Rosenthal, and then loses possession. Howell again. Howell's got through a mountain of work at the back. And I try not to mention it too often, but just in case you're wondering, yes, Jamie Howell is the one in the Colgate commercial where the team learned the Yeronga song in Auslan for her. But she's far more than that. She is a brilliant winger, has a wonderful tackling technique, and as a former long jumper, has speed to burn. As has been on display, mostly in that left back pocket so far in this match. Keane versus Pulteney. Gear had front position, lost it, regained it. Howell again. Tackle from Lunson, spills to win at the back of the pack. In fact, that might be Millen. Got some high contact, and it is Millen's free kick. Again goes wide. There's been no switches to the open side from Yeronga today. again, there are different reasons why you might do that, trusting your players in contests, but it has meant that Wilston Grange haven't had to do a lot of chasing.
You can see now, even look at them set up behind the ball. They've got two players completely on their own, just being aware of that. So they've shut down that option today.
Millen broke free, the kick rebounded. Wilston Grange getting it forward by any means possible. Hamilton went without the ball and then scrounged to regain it twice, was tackling from the ground like she was pleading with someone not to leave them, and then a beautiful mark from the back from, I think, where I am mixing up Ware and Dudley. They do have the same plats, similar build, and their numbers are 52 and 53. I believe that's Ware. She's gone inside to Gear, who was completely on her lonesome. And when you're stuck in your own 50 for that long, it only takes one lapse, and suddenly, shot on goal.
Be nice to see her get a goal for her efforts today. She's been playing outstanding, so to just get a goal, really get some reward for effort would be great.
Well, there is a Best on Ground award for each match today.
I did not know that.
Ah, and you get a say, Sky, but more on that in a moment. Mia Gear looks okay off the boot because I was on the wrong angle. So just a minor score, but that's now a 5-goal lead for Wilston Grange, and it's 13 scoring shots to 2. I'm not sure if the current Wilston Grange score is 36, 37 or 38. I'm going to pretend that's your job, Sky. It's not, but I'm going to pretend it is.
Just blame me, that's fine.
Yeah, of course. Scoreboard says 37. Another attacking opportunity, Welsh. And again brought down by Howell, who, because of the mountain of work she's done, may have gone past Hill as Yeronga's best, because without Jamie Howell, maybe Wilston Grange would have put on 2 more in this quarter. Welsh went behind to Matenga. Clever knock forward. Fletcher's kick was charged down by Poltney.
Yeronga will be disappointed today. I feel like the score was not really reflecting their efforts. They have done some really great things today. They're just not got that efficiency inside 50 to get the reward on the scoreboard. Their only goal, unfortunately, has come from a free kick. So, but they have done some really great things down the field.
Welsh kicked the ball into an opponent, regathered, racking up the stats. Shiner. And Yeronga able to come away until they turn it over to Shiner. She hacks it out of the pack, looking for Hamilton. Bounces past her, but there was pushing, there was shoving, and now there's a free kick to Burnett. Again, keeps it wide. No switches in play. Matenga with an extraordinary mark. Perfect marking technique. You go up one-handed and then hold it against the shin. Every coach teaches that. Matenga in the pocket. Beats everyone. Falls to Jones, whose cry of anguish loosely translated as, that was not a very good kick, was it, Haley? In the local Ontarian dialect, you understand. That's one pass out of defence. They found Millen. Should have been a second one, but a bit of pressure on the marking contest as Bellinger's had to come back a long way. And when I say should, Lucy Bellinger's a slightly better marker than I am. Wilston Grange's free kick. They go centrally. And over the back of the contest, that's Celebre again. She's got one set shot goal today. And this one's easier than that one was.
She's up there for me as
Celebre?
well today. Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed watching her. Just extremely smart with her positioning and really good, strong, contested football.
Second year in the Bond University QAFLW. Originally Tasmanian, but has played probably most of her footy in the Northern Territory. But good connections between Wilston Grange and the Northern Territory Leagues. Naomi Celebre has her second, and it has been the Gorillas' quarter by some margin.
Heard that celebration from here through the effects mic, Daniel.
No, got a lot of energy, Naomi Celebre. good company generally, as most of the players in this competition are. But yes, the exuberance you see on the field is very much true to her character.
We love that.
I feel you could learn a lot, Sky Burgess. Your celebrations probably need a bit of work. I think that you could put a lot more energy into yours.
I don't get to do many. I'm a backman. So.
So was Lauren Shackleton, and she's got 2 today. I think, there we go, we've had a 5-6-5 infringement simply because Yeronga got there. Oh, there's an injury, sorry, that's why. So it's not a 5-6-5 at all. I've done them a disservice. Actually, I think I was wrong twice. I'm going to shut up.
I was going to say she's running down there.
Yeah, I think they just needed to change their rotational structure. There's the clearance from Pulteney to Win, got her in the face and caused a turnover. Matenga again. Inside to Ware. Goes inside 50, beats everyone. Hamilton had front position, knocked it into space. And Lowry is brought to ground with good technique by, I think, Siobhan Senior. He won't get 16 tackles today, but she's been strong when needed. Celebre hit the ground. And Wynn's able to clear. Most of her work today has been defensive. Now feel the play. Now Finning. She's had some good success with the set shots this year. This would be her longest.
That is an absolute thumper. Is she going to torp it?
I hope so.
It looks like she's gone for the straight shot.
Torpedo's the modern word. Barrel is what you'll hear 80-year-old guys in a bar say. But Hayley Finning, I don't think that's got the legs, but I do not blame her for trying. 3/4 time, 4 unanswered goals to the Wilston Grange Gorillas in that third term. 6-7-43, they lead Yeronga 1-1-7. Wilston Grange on their way to a win in the first match of Jarrah Corporate Pride round, Bond University QAFLW round 12.
So what he wants, and I feel like, do you want to take care of this for the first time? I've got Adrian's phone number. In fact, I think it's also on your sheet. Here it is, his number's there. And what he wants is 3 names, best on ground first, second best on ground second, third best on ground third. And to get in a game where this is not going to be a super clear, so we can start talking about the last minutes. I'm going to give you final say. Other than mentioning names. But yeah, if we disagree on who's best on the ground, you're the one that fucking you get down for the audience. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're actually running money here. She's the most creative. If I was doing Zilky medal votes, I wouldn't necessarily be voting for the best player from the losing side. But in this situation, in a confidence, and so, I mean, Jamie would be sort of best player. You mentioned Celebre, who one of those players who's been important when she's been involved, but her role is not to be constantly involved. Absolutely. She's been a winger for most of her career. This year she's mostly been playing centre, but for some reason this week they decided to move back out to the wing. But you're absolutely right, as an outside midfielder, she's been outstanding. She was in the Queensland squad with the final side, and they've got a danger because she's not retiring fire on the wing, fair enough. But probably the only other one, I don't think my
in the end, he might, like he's probably got his own mind up. He's almost got calculations on the little bit slower. Like everybody else sitting here, you won't bother looking at it for the second or third laps. If I ask you what Wilston Grange did right in the quarter, is that a good question to throw to you? Four goals to love in the third quarter for the Wilston Grange Gorillas. And they only missed twice. Yeronga unable to score in that quarter. I'm not entirely sure they had an inside 50. There might have been one early on. But 2 goals each to Lauren Shackleton and Naomi Celebre, and 1 each to Hayley Jones and Tanika Dardley. Sophie Wheeler, the lone goal scorer for Yeronga. My name is Daniel Viles. With me is Sky Burgess. Sky, can you put your finger on what Wilston Grange did right in that quarter?
I think they're doing a lot right, to be honest. You can see that they're well structured. They're setting up walls and spare players behind the ball and really getting into that contest. They're getting numbers to the ball, flooding past the handballs. Now that it's opened up, the skills are a lot more cleaner. So just really, really dominated that quarter, unfortunately, for Yeronga.
Now, I can't feel the wind up here. I don't think the wind's necessarily a cross breeze that's helping play go to the left, but Chelsea Wynn may be about to make a liar out of me, except her handball was picked off by Mia Gear. Jamie Howell moved into the centre, and unfortunately she just held on to Samuel Hamilton a bit long. That's a good one-on-one battle, Hamilton versus Howell. Had run outside, beautiful step. Bit of Sophie Peters in that little run. Has a second step. Not the best kick, but everything up till then was good. Burnett has to clear in a hurry. Matenga. Outstanding day outside of midfield. Got past Morisuti. Back inside 50. Hamilton looking for front position. Important tackle from behind. I think that was Howell. And Carmody decides that she will accidentally on purpose stroll over the behind line. The dark arts of defensive play. Sky knows all about them. Goes wide, was looking for Goodwin. Important touch from, I think it was Dardley. But Wilston Grange looking to lock it back in. Finlay fighting hard. She has eventually won the ball back. Inside towards Fletcher. Fletcher turns and goes. Thought about a bounce, then thought against it. Into space, looking for Welsh. Couldn't get past Matthews. Matthews tracked her extremely well. Got loose, Shackleton. Second effort from Matthews. And superb work from the very experienced Jess Matthews. Brought up her 100th game of senior football earlier in the year, but this is her 98th game in the Bond University QAFLW, which for a stats nerd is very significant. Fletcher. Tried to run it, bumped off Hewitt. Shiner. Still in a narrow position for Welsh. Couldn't pick up the ball. Burnett is wrapped up. Good ball and all tackle from Senior. Maybe she will get the 16 tackles. No, but, you know. Shiner did well, and maybe Pulteney realised, well, your tap's going towards the boundary, so I'm just going to let you win it. Maybe Pulteney just grabbed her hand, which is kind of important when you're a ruck. Good work from Shiner. Able to retain possession. Hamilton, not a lot of space, being tracked by Howell. And I think they've put Howell on Hamilton just to contain her, which is a smart move, I'd say. Pulteney got it behind her, and they will be able to clear. Good run out of the middle. That was Hewitt. Matenga got a good bounce and made the most of it, but only got to win. Wynn was looking for Hill. Shiner intercepted. Gear. Gear goes straight through the middle. Burnett had an air swing. Goes through to Hamilton. Got enough space. The ball's gone vertical and off target. And she'd probably like to have that chance again.
Maybe not the smartest move by Yeronga coming across goal side in a game where you're kind of getting dominated like that. All it takes is one turnover and, you know, they're getting another shot on goal.
Yeah, without being skillful enough to demonstrate it, there's switching the play and there's not playing the percentages in front of goal. So that sounds contradictory. I probably am, but as long as you're blaming me and not Sky. Keeping it wide. Just looking to structure something, Yeronga. Chelsea win. Again, it was short. Anderson pounced. Maintaining possession just outside the 50. Jones went for a sprawl. And in the end, we'll just have a good old vanilla throw-in.
Just been keeping an eye on Celebre. She's been down here. I did notice early on she went down, was down for quite a while, and she was limping around, but she stayed on, so didn't say anything. She was just off here getting a rub by the trainer, and she's accepted some Red Bull cans off these two sponsor people walking by and dispersed them on the bench. There you go. They're going to have wings in a minute.
Can you commentate for a second?
Hopefully she's all right, though. She has got her knee strapped now, so just been keeping an eye on her. I always get worried about when girls come off and limping around on their knee a bit. We've got some common ACL injuries, so hopefully she is okay.
The research being done into those ACL injuries for women athletes is fascinating. Jamie Howe, if she'd held on to that, that would have been remarkable. Goes outside to Jones, ducks, weaves, passes, Shackleton.
She has just been given way too much room today. She's so smart. She just gets in front, gets to the fall of the ball.
There's 2 goals already. And lays this one up, saw the smarter option and thought, Mia Gear, you need to practice your set shots. Probably been the only part of her game that hasn't been top-notch today, Mia Gear.
It's always hard in front of goal. You got that added pressure. I would say it's maybe because she's young, but I used to be the same as a forward, so I'm not going to throw any shade.
No, hopefully a big future for Mia Gear. Shot from about 35 out.
Oh, I thought it was just going to bounce through just to the left.
After making a mistake earlier, I was very closely watching the hands. I think it missed those. But again, just a minor score for Mia Gear. And just the way that held up in the breeze, I think we have to say the breeze is blowing, and it's more than a breeze, right to left across the screen. Hewitt. Bellinger. Clears everyone. And Findlay, about as much space as she's had all day. Goes back to O'Donnell. They were looking to switch. O'Donnell found some space in the middle. Went route one. Just yorked Gear. Round the side, good run from, I think it was Senior, it was. Hacked out of the pack. Yeronga with possession. Ooh, that's borderline for a sling, but able to play on lovely handballing out of the middle from Yeronga. Millen. Just through the hands of Lee. Finning coming back the other way. She's been a veritable mop at the back today, has Hayley Finning. Lowry at the back. Good work from Senior. I think she caught that off the face. Whatever it takes. Because if I tried to catch a ball off my face, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Welsh. Off the left foot, inside 50. Looking for Shackleton again. Tries to break free of Carmody. Got the handball into space. Matthews. Wasn't able to break away, but just to get possession in the first place. Good positioning. I'm going to say from the veteran because she hates it when I do that. Pulteney won the ruck and then missed it. Hamilton. Hamilton around the outside. Gets space. Summer Hamilton.
Got another Wilston Grange player just come off limping here. We'll have to keep an eye out on who that is.
Might be Donatashio. No, sorry, that's Dardley. On the board today, as I say, been...
Is it where?
No, that's Dardley, 53. Oh, hang on.
You got the...
Good grief, that's where.
You did call yourself out on it before.
No, that's Burgess leads 15 love. Apologies.
Yeah, she's just taken a seat on the trainer's table. We'll just see what kind of attention they're giving her. Hopefully it's just those late in the game cramps.
Millen, who's worked very hard today. Then Rosenthal just bumped off it by O'Donnell, who's become a very good key defender this year. She's been mostly a halfback flanker in the past, as Burnett clears, but Findlay read that early. But no, Grace O'Donnell this year, she's very high in the ranking for intercept marks in 2024. And this second half has been clinical from Wilston Grange. Good work out of defence. Released wide. Over the back for the run of Lee. The bounce favoured Finning. Made the most of it. Bit of a Gaelic football tap to herself there, but it worked. But turned over. Infield, again, it's going to be picked off by O'Donnell. Who, even though that was an easy mark, she just looks more comfortable marking than she has in previous years, which just comes with age. But also hard work. So if Ware's off the field, that's clearly Dardley. Gear. Beat the run of Millen, because I think she realised, oh, hang on, you're not a teammate. Matenga. Double jink to get past Hewitt, skillful. Matenga on the near side, just beats Howell, releases Celebre. Who Sky noted was maybe just feeling the pinch before. Turned over to Yeronga. Good work from Howell in the middle. Dropped by Lee, but fell to Hill. Going inside 50. Bellinger goal side, as is Satchisiv. Finning will street them, and then both of them will look to pounce. Finning just released. O'Donnell, and then brought to ground. Big opportunity for Yeronga to finish the game strongly. In fact, finishes a bit early. There's still 9 minutes. Lee, good tap. Regained possession. Then just a slightly indecisive handball, and Findlay was able to clear towards Fletcher. Good charge down, important one from Goodwin. Just shut down the space. And it looked like Wilston Grange could have come away up this right wing. Just hitting the ground behind the baseballer, Patterson. And they get a free kick. There was a call of 50 from the boundary, which I think was just a reflex action. The free kick goes to Amelia Lee. 17-year-old, come up from Toowoomba this season. Been switched between key position roles. Began on the wing today. That's a decent length kick. Off target. But I want to see one of those go through soon.
Just a quick update on where she's got her boot off now and just is getting assessed on her ankle. So, you know, from a coaching perspective, that might be game for her. You know, if you're injured, I wouldn't be bothered sending her back out when they've got this much of a lead.
How's her energy drink intake?
They actually gave them to the Resi's players. I saw some went on their way to the warm out, so that'll be interesting.
Is Wada here? Shiner. Through to Findlay, who read it well. Just hacked. That's Findlay, so it can't have been before. Apologies. Finning. Just slices the defence and then got a kick away under pressure. Found Senior. Senior centres. Not quite taken by Gear. Senior hunted. Fell loose, turned over. That was Hill to Rosenthal. Well taken, tracking back from Bellinger. Bellinger wide, was looking for the run of Lee. Oh, did everything except finish the mark. She was relaxed, maybe a little too much so, but not the worst problem to have. Boundary throw-in. The other significant stat is that before today, the one team that had never won a match in a Pride round was Wilston Grange.
There you go.
done it in some style, cracking the half century. And with a third quarter that could be put on repeat in the Wilston Grange clubhouse at Hickey Park. Celebre underneath, fighting hard. Doesn't really know any other way. Was turned over to Yeronga and then turned over again. Up the wing, Matthews has come high. Goes in field, a little bit more route one over the back of Goodwin. Play allowed to continue, rightly so. Yeronga hoist it forward, and they're getting a few inside 50s towards the end of the quarter. Strong work out the back towards Howell, who's got an opportunity to run forward, and picked off again by O'Donnell. Not an intercept mark, but an interception. Celebre turned out of the lack of space and turned it into space. Lunson knocked off the ball by Gear. Gear gets a pass away. The counter-attack is on. Not much ahead. Shackleton got there first. Fed Celebre. Enough Yeronga defenders got back to shut down the play. A couple of lung busters. I think Matthews was one. And I think Hewitt was the other. Shiner knocks it forward. Was well cut off by Lunson. Lowry, clever little handball. Through the middle from Patterson. O'Donnell spoiled from the back expertly. She'll knock it forward. Releases Donataccio on the wing. Looking for a target inside. Saw something short. Hamilton. Well, I think that's just a bit of fatigue this late in the game. Donataccio has a second chance.
I think she's hurt herself
Ooh.
doing that tackle.
Might have cocked one in the ribs. Often take when you've got your arms up to take a mark, you do leave your ribs exposed. Yeronga pushing it out. Welsh got a handball away. Hamilton's back up. She feels no pain. And then not the cleanest tackle, but it's a ball up.
Yeah, I think Hamilton just jumped on the back of the poor Yeronga, got a tackle and pulled her down, and she's brought all the body weight on top of her, so she got kind of like crushed on the way down. So might just be needing to get some air, and you wind yourself when you do that.
Oh, I know that feeling very, very well. Morisuti hands the ball back to the umpires, who I don't recall making any howlers today at all. They've let the players decide it. They've had a lot of work to do.
Hamilton's going to come off now.
So if you're going to end up short on the bench, do it when there's only a handful of minutes left. As Anderson just runs it out of play, backward of left wing. So there will be a best on ground ceremony after this. I don't know if we'll be able to catch that on camera because we do have to transition from this live stream to the one for the next game, but we'll certainly mention it. And there will be photos galore on both the AFLQ and QAFL_QAFLW Facebook and Instagram pages. I think they still use Twitter. I still use Twitter, and I refuse to call it that other name as well. Anderson. In towards Matenga, being attacked from the back, and not quite able to hold on to it under pressure from Morisuti. Got a disposal away anyway to Carter. He's done well today, Daisy Carter, in parts. When she gets her confidence up, she can be quite destructive in a good way. Fletcher. Lands in no woman's land. Shackleton chasing Celebre. Knocking it into her favourite pocket. Goodwin did very well. Celebre attacking hard. Tried to get the handball back into Shackleton. Burnett was there in support. Matthews tracking her. Stoppage. Let's say 15 from goal. Now, late in the third, Sky, you mentioned that Mia Gear was your favourite for best on ground. Has anything changed your mind in the fourth term?
No, not at all. She played really well and played consistently over the four quarters.
Well, Sky and I don't get complete say on who's best on ground, but we have microphones as Howell brings down a beautiful tackle. Not called ball, and comes back to Findlay with help from Matenga. She goes straight forward, cut off by Wynn. Not her most successful day, but she's tried hard, as has Shiner, who wins the free with that wonderful tackle. Cut off by Goodwin, who must be exhausted if she's dropping marks like that.
Wilston Grange have just got to be careful at this point in the game. There's only a couple of minutes left and they're kind of dropping like flies now. We've got someone else bent over in the middle of the ground. You know, they're winning the game easily. You don't want to be having injuries at this point in the game.
And of course, this point in the season. Next week, Wilston Grange is on camera again up at Aspley. A tough task, but that North Brisbane derby can surprise. And in fact, play will stop. And with 75 seconds left in this match, it's possible there'll be no further play. I'll just see if I can identify the player. Might be Senior. I apologise, I got the wrong team. That's Pepper Pulteney. And that would be a disaster for Yeronga. Not so much in the context of this game, but she is so important to their team in the last 2 matches of the season. And they've got the University of Queensland and then Southport coming up. And we had the game on camera when they played Southport. And yes, they lost heavily, but they put a couple of goals on and they made Southport earn the victory.
And in that meantime, with the downtime, we've also had from Wilston Grange, Shiner and O'Donnell both limp off. So they're absolutely dropping like flies at the moment.
There are some decent physios at Wilston Grange and they're going to earn their money this week.
And the girls know the game's over. They're already shaking hands as they take the stretcher out to that player.
So the final score will be Wilston Grange 7-10-52 defeating Yeronga 1-2-8. And at least for another 2 hours, Wilston Grange remain in the finals race. 2 goals to Lauren Shackleton and Naomi Celebre. Singles to Summer Hamilton, Hayley Jones and Tamika Dardley. Yeronga's goal went to Sophie Wheeler early in the second term. So in terms of the commentators, we will nominate Mia Gear as best on ground. The announcement will be held shortly and you'll be able to see the results. Well, we'll probably mention it in the next game, but also we will, please check the social media. In fact, just follow them. Follow AFL Queensland and QAFLW on both Facebook and Instagram. My name's Daniel Voss, Sky Burgess. Thanks for your input this game, and you've got one more to go.
Yes, we're back. We're back for the next game. But thank you for having me. It was a great game by Wilson. Just really impressed by them today.
Wilston Grange defeat Yeronga by 44 points. Thanks for joining us here on the official AFLQ YouTube channel. Join us for Cooperoo versus University of Queensland very shortly.